Welcome, engineer students. You are almost done with your first design notebook as we are on day number 4. So as you can see today, you are going to answer the evaluating questions in your design notebook. And for that, remember to use complete sentences, be detailed, talk about what we've done in class in your answers. Then at the end, you'll answer your essential question and daily summary per usual. But since this is the final day of your design notebook, double check that you have your entire design notebook filled in from days 1 through 4. Everything should be complete. So if you are missing anything, take time to finish that section before you submit it. Today's essential question: what is the purpose of reflection? Because we are going to be doing reflection questions based on the design process and the design notebook so far. So I want to show you in your design notebook. Remember, day number 4, we're going to answer the evaluating questions. So click on day number 4. It'll take you straight to where you need to be. You'll see today's essential question. You should have your goal written in for today, your daily goal. So if you haven't done that yet, take time to answer that right now. And then we can look through each evaluating question. And so you're going to write your answers to the following conclusion questions. You'll put your answer on the right-hand side here where you see the pencil icon. Explain your answers in as much detail as you can, and of course, use complete sentences. Don't just use one-word answers. Remember to have a capital letter to start your sentence and an ending punctuation mark. Share an example of when you use the design process outside of school. How will you give proof to your teacher that you used the design process? Because we're going to be using the design notebook and the design process every project throughout this semester. So how are you going to give proof to us? How are we going to know you did it? What is one example of success that you had during this design notebook? What was the most challenging part of the design notebook? What's the purpose of using the design process? And notice that's an orange background, so that's a should do question, which is a little bit higher level thinking. And then the last one is pink, which is aspire to do. And for that, you'll have to click on the evaluating rubric, which is how you're being graded for every evaluating section throughout the semester. And so when you click on that, it'll take you to this document, which goes over on a scale of 1 through 8 how you're going to receive your grade with your evaluating questions. So if you look at a level 8, not only do you need to have a complete and correct answer to all the questions in the conclusions, but you need to use specific vocabulary. And then I think the most important part, justify your answer with specific evidence. So when you start talking specifically about what we did in class, that's where you can get up to that level 7 or an 8. Whereas if you're just using vague general answers, that's where you only keep at a 5, 6, or maybe below. So you can read through each of these criterions of how you're being graded. And once you've read through them, then the question you have to answer is, based on that rubric, what grade do you think you deserve for these evaluating questions? So look at your answers that you've had, and based on your answers and based on this rubric, what grade do you think you deserve for the evaluating questions and why? So answer that question there. And then lastly, this is the end of day number 4. So I would double check through everything in your design notebook. So going back to day number 3, you had to watch the Design Squad video and then see, is there an answer to every question on the right-hand side here? If not, take time to answer them right now. Same thing with day number 2. I'm scrolling up pretty fast here. When you are getting dressed in the morning, or 7th graders, when you are bored, what did you put in here? If you have any blank spots here, take time to answer that before you submit your design notebook. As always, if you have questions, you can ask your teacher. But congratulations, you're done with your first design notebook.